All right, so what do we have to do? We have got some 9 Aventine miniature sold as Byzantine light cavalry, but I'm going to use them as light Roman cavalry. And I'll show you the figures in a minute, a little more close up outside of the packaging. But I went with Aventine for my first unit of 6 light cavalry, and then we decided with this project, the Strasbourg project, to double basically the initial cavalry figures I had calculated. So I do have actually the Victrix light cavalry. I ended up actually with 3 boxes of Victrix light Roman cavalry plus a box of horse archers. But how that came to be is a story for another time. But for right now, for this project, I just ordered these in. And these are going to be the last real troops for the Rome. All right, here we are, the troops. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to talk about my general strategy for these, and then we'll get into painting them, and I'll basically take you through color by color, or if not totally color by color, basically step by step. So my advice, and I did talk about it when I was over in the garage there a moment ago, is I would always start with a light base coat. That's kind of my general thinking these days, and then get shadows in the recesses using washes. I think that is just the way to go about it. When I started to paint, I always undercoated in black when I got into minis. And since then, I've been a total convert to the light base tone. All right, so that video format was just kind of taking a little bit too much time, and I realized I really have to crank down on these figures. So it's been about 4 hours working on the 9 figures. So what does that come to? Basically a little over 30 minutes per figure. So I'm just showing you under the stove light because it's dark outside and I don't have other good light. But this is what they look like finished. Oh, shield's not looking perfect there. So this is the standard bearer. I think I'm just going to do them as a unit, and that other guy can find his own standard bearer. So here's, I won't show you like every single last figure, but here's the standard bearer. I think he turned out okay. Here we have the commander of the unit, the officer, and the trumpeter. So I think where I left off in the video, I was applying the first base coats of contrast paint. You can see this guy's pants. I just left it as the contrast paint. But the tunic, you can see I highlighted the flesh. I think I did a base tone of Kislev flesh from GW. I put a Reichland flesh shade wash on it. And then I'm forgetting the name of it, but I used this Army Painter pink kind of skin as the highlight. And I did that for this guy too. So yeah, for this guy on the red, I used Blood Angels red as the base coat, and then I used one of the Foundry reds as a highlight. So this white shirt, I mean, there's a couple more layers of highlights, but generally these are either contrasts or a base coat with a wash on them and then one highlight. And I think you can get a pretty good tabletop effect with just that. So I'll show you maybe like 1 or 2 more figures, and then we'll start basing up this unit. All right, here's a couple more of the guys. These ones, I think the faces turned out pretty well. And this unit I've been really trying to do in kind of brighter colors than some of my other units. And I wish I had been doing that from the start, using more of a range of colors, etc. But on the end of the day, you just kind of got to get it done. So yeah, I'm actually pretty pleased with how these came out in terms of, actually just cranking out 9 cavalry in an afternoon. I think they turned out pretty well for that scenario. Infantry, I mean, I could probably have done like 30 infantry in the same time that it took me to do 9 cavalry, but whatever. All right, so there we go. We got the finished unit of light cavalry from Aventine Miniatures. I think all in all, the unit came out pretty well. One thing to know if you're getting into Aventine Miniatures is you look at these models the wrong way and they will chip. I had a big problem with the primer chipping, paint chipping, even just, you don't feel like you even touch the model, and I feel like it would chip. But anyways, here they are based up. Obviously, I will be putting more basing materials on them and whatnot in time. The one thing, and you can see it in this picture pretty clearly, the one thing I'm a little upset about is the shields, and this is my own fault. So I was kind of rushing a little bit after I applied the transfers and started painting the outside rims. You can see some red paint on the shield. What happened there is if the transfer is still a little wet, the paint can get kind of sucked under the transfer. So I wasn't able to get rid of that paint unless I tried to like paint over it or something, because it's not on the top of the transfer. It's actually underneath it where it got kind of sucked under. So anyways, that is actually the last unit for the late Romans completed. So I will have a bunch. What my plan is, basically like the weekend of March 15th, I'm gonna have a big showcase. I'm gonna get everything based up, like put all the basing materials on them on the Friday. Well, see, I'm gonna get everything out basically, and the goal is Friday through Saturday, varnishing, basing, doing all that stuff. And then Sunday, I'll have basically the whole late Roman army ready to do kind of a showcase. The one exception is I might not have the last couple command bases done. I got some command bases to work on. And that's just, not that, I don't know. I might sneakily order just a couple more figures to populate the command bases. I gotta figure out exactly what my plan is. I mean, I could theoretically, make bases right now if I wanted to. It's just, what do I really want them to look like? Do I want to add some extra figures on there? All right, so enough of me yammering, me yapping. That's the finished unit, or